Welcome to the Matters Podcast, where combat sports, mindset, and real life lessons collide. Hosted by Derving and Nate, we dive into jiu-jitsu, wrestling, MMA, and the grind that shapes athletes inside and outside the mat. Every episode we bring stories, strategies, and raw conversations that fuel growth, resilience, and community. Stay tuned because it's more than a fight, it's a lifestyle. Hello, welcome back to My Matters, where we talk about combat sports and how they mirror life. I'm Derving, here with my co-host, Nate. Man, this week's been wild. From Tom Aspinall having a controversial match, John Jones trolling him, Frank Mir coming back from a spinal surgery, and we have also Mackenzie Dern this weekend having a matchup that she won the championship. How's it going, man?
It's going pretty good. How are you?
Doing good, man. Trying to enjoy a little bit of brewski during the Oktoberfest.
And towards the holidays.
Yes, sir. Let's try to make trying to make a drinking game. Every time I say I have to take a sip. I'll be out of beer by the end of the night. Yeah, this week, since we usually talk more about jiu-jitsu, Mackenzie Dern winning UFC title. She is the second Brazilian to ever win ADCC, BJJF, Gi World Championship, and also the UFC title after Fabrice Verdun.
Yeah, she's quite decorated at this point.
Yes.
I didn't see the match. Was there much grappling involved, or was it mostly striking?
What I saw the highlights, she won more the striking. She talked about how she was looking for her to get it taken down. She was to dominate better on the ground game than Jandiroba. She was leaking. Her eye was leaking.
Yes, I did see that. It's good to see that she can diversify. I feel like previously that was one thing that she wasn't the best at, but the fact that, Jandiroba was no joke at all. And the fact that Mackenzie could, stand up and strike with her, I feel like that says good things.
Usually the initial block between grapplers and going to MMA is getting punched when you try to strike. It's afraid of getting into that distance. Same thing that when we're in jiu-jitsu, we're afraid of closer distance. Somebody grabs your lapel or grabs your sleeve, and you're like, what do you do from there? And you just deers in the headlight trying to grab their lapel, but without them grabbing your lapel at the same time. So, but once you get comfortable in the exchange, you're able to find other entries or other attacks or defend the attacks.
Yeah. No, yeah. Congrats to Mackenzie, though. She's been in the UFC for quite a long time, but she hasn't been the most active, has she?
She hasn't been as consistent as far as winning. She's been winning some, losing some, including some of them her game. Her game as far as grappling, she has lost some matches due to grappling aspect of the game. But that doesn't seem like it was going to be questionable against Jandiroba. But she's able to put a game plan together for a match and be able to evolve from being a BJJ specialist to well-rounded MMA fighter. I hate to be shitty about it, but her baby daddy is pretty happy about her winning the title because remember, she pays the alimony. He's like,
oh, I do.
Yeah,
he's cheering harder than anybody.
Yeah, Mackenzie Dern cheering on. Yes. He got a raise.
Yeah.
And also, she's a mother too, and she is pretty sweet. Whenever her daughter came into the octagon, and she had put the strap around her daughter, she won. And later on, she had an interview with Michael Bisping, and she was talking about her daughter, showing her the kids within the playground. She's like, "Mama, my mom fights in the UFC." A proud kid, which is a different aspect as far as mental game, being a mother and then being a fighter at the same time.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
It may have there's a balance of war and love at the same time.
The combined stress and the very different stresses, that would be, that's quite a challenge, I imagine.
Yeah. Do you think you dislike this championship run to inspire other women to cross train in combat sports?
It's a good question. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
I'm usually who was it? Kendall talk about, remember, CGI, a woman that need to get paid more and stuff like that. So instead of like worrying about getting paid more exposure would be better, more competition available, more likely you'll be able to compete. The more compete, the more exposure, more be able to get the money's gonna come. I mean, bust us say cream braces to the top.
right.
So the more competition you get, more likely in more exposure you get. Like Mackenzie Dern, she's been lucky because of that. So what, Megaton? That's her dad's name. It's a jiu-jitsu legend as well. And that's the exposure that she having that from her dad alone and being competing since she was little. And she's been going against big names. I mean, and big people like Gabby Garcia
Yeah.
beating her. He had been competing for so long and be able to do that transition into a different sport, and also being in sport for so long and dominate actually opened doors for her to go to a different sport. Because so many times you be dominant in one sport, they like, I'll try something else.
Yeah, I do wonder, like, yeah, her focus has been on MMA for a long time now. I mean, it was interesting in the last CJI, I think it was.
Yes,
Not the
last
last one,
year.
the CJI, the first one, yeah.
Yes, as well.
Her against Fiona. I mean, Fiona kind of dominated her there, but Mackenzie's focus has been on MMA for a long time. So it's good to see, like, now she can strike as well. She's got that going for her. No slouch with the jiu-jitsu at all. She's very good there. So, yeah, I mean, that's good to see that her resume is filled.
Yeah. I wonder if she has she done any super matches like for UFC Fight Pass or any of those.
Not that I know of, but I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, the last one I remember was down with Fiona Davis, but I don't know if she had done any of those Fight Pass like invitational.
I don't know.
So, because that's another way you can compete too. I mean, you're under the UFC umbrella already. You're out of UFC. You don't have any match. A lot of people having issues. A lot of fighters are having issues with getting match up. If you don't get matchups in MMA, you're under the UFC umbrella. You can still compete on the invitational or UFC Fight Pass for your grappling partner. And it's a way to staying active and also evolve in a certain aspect of your game, just like Demetrius Johnson did back in the day. He used to just focus on either kickboxing or the jiu-jitsu part and just sign up for those type of events, so able to get better at that part of the game and without having so much danger of the other aspect of getting kicked while going for a takedown. Just like focus on those like pure sport or pure competition.
Yeah. Uh, Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I would imagine that would definitely help hone your specific skills. I haven't seen a massive amount of UFC people attending the UFC fight passes though.
No, I haven't. I think Amra, he had one with Benson Henderson, but that was a UFC fight pass. It was a different promotion. I think it was a Russian promotion. I don't know. Patty Pimley, he said he's having issues getting a match too.
Mhm.
I don't know if he was willing to do a grappling match. Who else? Well, Sean, Sean O'Malley. Oh well, Bryce Mitchell, he did one recently in the EBI. I remember the kid that caught him in the leg lock in the like within the first 2 minutes or so. I think it's like 48 seconds. That's what the kid caught him in the leg lock
Yeah.
in grappling.
Yeah. It is interesting to see. I almost feel like it's becoming more and more of a thing that it's harder to be full time in UFC and be at the top level of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like I feel like in the past people were doing it fairly frequently, but
Mhm.
now I feel like you're starting to see a lot more of just grappling in general evolving so fast. I think it's hard to keep up when you have to train other things as well.
Yeah, I agree. Because back in the day, you used to see a lot of guys like Chris Wyman, Charles Son, and Diego Lopez. He went against Marcelo Garcia, ADCC,
hmm
and all the guys, Jeff Monson against Joko Willing, ADCC, and all the guys, they used to be like top of the MMA game because of the aspect of training with MMA. It's a high pace and they do a lot of different training pace and technique. But now the grappling have adopted that part of passing the game for the drilling into just the grappling part instead of like how taking the MMA part, having the MMA approach for training, applying it to grappling, and that's why that became half both. So whenever MMA fighters want to come into the grappling part, that game's hard for it. It has
Mm-hmm.
some
Yeah.
like Bryce Mitchell, because Bryce Mitchell is nasty when it comes to the grappling and MMA. But if you were like start a slow pace against somebody in a grappling match, you were behind the ball. It's hard to catch up,
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
especially in the leg lock part.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just thinking that who is it? There's a guy in the UFC, I believe, that just got like his third straight win with the heel hook, something like that. It like is starting to rack up heel hook wins. I thought it was UFC.
Really?
Let's see, Walter Walker coming up. Yeah, recently secured his fourth consecutive heel hook victory at UFC 321, tying the record for the most in a row.
He's a heavyweight.
That's scary for the poor heavyweights.
Yeah, because the legs is the farthest part from their head for coordination too.
Mm-hmm.
For them to try to defend.
Yeah.
If they roll the wrong way,
for those long limbs.
it's a lot of torque.
Yep.
And that's scary. He is 6'6".
Dang. That's a big boy.
He hit that last one off a C. The guy was defending a cigar. He sat back and got an outside heel hook. Outside, he got it. He just hit off cigar. The guy he was on top. The guy, I think, ham guard, cigar, and sat back. Exposed the heel, to secure the hip.
That's cool to see. The big boys good at grappling in the UFC. That's rare.
Yeah, because usually they get punched if you get it wrong.
Mm-hmm. Punch hard in that one.
Heavy punches, but that's in. I wonder how far he can go.
It'd be cool to see. I mean, he's 15-1, so he's got a very good record.
Tafa Mays says Shugwo in Sutherland. That's it here. 3 of them have been in this year: February, July, and October. 3 out of 4.
Strange, I haven't heard about this guy. I really don't know Walter Walker.
I see another one that he hit it off a full guard. Okay, he had the bag. Sat back. He went outside Senkaku and then inside heel hook to rip the knee. That was a tough one. I used to hit that one to go for the knee bar instead of going for the heel hook back in the day. Well, now it's more dangerous to do the heel hook though, because you have inside, outside Senkaku, you secure the hip so much and you able to get some leverage to elevate the foot of the mat. I go against guys and man, it's a freaking nightmare trying to escape out of that. Once if you go too far and you don't have no weight on that foot, you have to keep the weight on the foot. Otherwise, your hip comes up and then game over. Especially the foot is on the inside instead of the outside. It's hard to defend it.
Yes.
What I started doing recently is when people pull Ashi, Garmi, I switch to outside Senkaku. I just pass the knee that's between my legs to the outside and try to squat down, put the foot down, keep it down. Or try to drag as much as I can my knee down and try to grab the head to be able to push the legs away from me as a pass, like kind of like pass a guard, but have my leg between their leg and trying to sprawl down as I try to do like a crossface to separate and prevent them from doing extension on my hip. Because otherwise, every time if I sit back a little bit, my foot is coming right up and they're usually going for a straight Achilles. It's hard for me to defend because my hip is getting extended. I don't have long legs anyways. And then, so there's not much extension that I'll be able to do from there. But if I'm able to keep my foot down, instead of sitting back and trying to push on the foot, but I usually put on the butt to be able to do escape. But that's when people are going for that outside heel hook. I slip my foot out of there, especially with shoes on. Boom. Now the started switching to Achilles. And from there, I had to just try to pass that guard on the outside, do like a leg pass on the outside. And from there, trying to just squat down and trying to like do a crossfade or drop that leg or so, prevent it from turning the body away from me. And I'm sprawling to get my leg back and get to the back from there.
Yeah.
Because it is a nightmare if they wants to do outside Senkaku.
Yeah.
But in I think what's his name? I'm going right. He said doesn't recommend Asase Kaku for in MMA because usually get punch a lot. In grappling, yes,
Yeah.
you can do that because you have more control, and also in IBJJF, it's not illegal because there's no ripping of the knee from there. But if you do it in MMA, it's not a good recommendation because you get punched a lot because you're just on the inside of your opponent and they're just gonna rain down on you. I think they talking about it doing a fight companion with he had EBI and then EBI but Edgy Brav. And in the fight companion, they asking which is good leg lock for you to attack for a opponent. He said rather outside Ashi or backside 50-50 because you're better control there. Because you have less chance of you getting punched and also more control of ripping the knee.
Right. Right.
From there.
Yeah, you can keep your distance a little bit better.
Yeah, also it's good for self-defense purposes too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you don't want somebody punching you in your head against the pain pin. You're bouncing your head off the
Yeah.
pavement.
True. Yeah, true. I feel like in defense, I would try to use that as more of a transition, though. I
Yes.
feel like I would not try to heel hook anybody like in a street altercation because they don't know what's hurting until it's already done, and then
Mhm.
at that point, what good does it do you? You know what I mean? You don't really want to leave permanent damage most of the time,
Yeah, or you do.
or you do. Yeah.
I usually, for self-defense purposes, if I do like end up on bottom, instead of like you were saying for passing part on bottom, just go to X guard and go to the back.
Yeah.
Just like trying to like elevate, sweep, and just go to the back from there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, more of a control position, something you can just dictate what happens. Keep
Yeah.
an eye on everything. Yeah.
The farther your head is away from their hands punching you.
Yeah.
If you control both of the legs without him trying to stomp your head off.
Yes.
Because you control the leg, that's the one thing they have to touch the ground all the time. Be easy for you to grab the legs. Also, you'll see a lot of people pulling guard in street fight.
That's true. For good reason.
Yeah. Another thing, you're gonna go to the main event. He's a little bit disappointing main event.
Yeah, more than a little.
Yeah. People were booing during the match
That I believe. Yeah.
about Aspinall because he was considered a draw, not contest. So I was wondering if it was not contest, he was going to be he lost the title, or because he was not contest, or he was a draw and then he just kept the title. That's what I was wondering how it's going to be.
Yeah.
For the match.
I would think you would keep the title, but yeah, I don't know. What did you think of obviously it was a pretty good eye poke. I mean, I saw the pictures. What did you think of the call from Aspinall trying to get out of it? Do you think he was trying to get out of it, I guess? Or do you think he was actually, in the pain, in the blindness that he claims?
I cannot speak for him, but I'm not sure if he was, because whenever you get your eye poke, have you been like something in your eye and it hurts so bad that your ears are ringing?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was a kind of scenario that he was going through. I mean, you can like you especially being both eyes, because one of them was a scrape and the other one was this is knuckle deep that went to his eye.
Yeah, true.
So DC had a damage that type of whenever he went to against Miyoshik, you can see his eye was like his retina was swollen after the fight, and you look rough. I mean, I don't know if he was worried about having permanent damage, having another British fighter with one eye in the UFC.
Yeah, right.
They want to keep the legacy going for Bisping.
Yeah.
But according to his dad, he said that his vision is still not 100% back since the issue. But eye injuries, I don't know how long it takes to heal despite having surgery. Because look at Pedigo, he still wears the eye patch.
Mhm.
I mean, that happened in August, 2 months ago. It's still healing. Too.
Yeah. I don't doubt that, it takes a long time to heal. And again, I feel like that would be one of the scariest things. 100%. Like if, from my standpoint, like if I got my eye poked and I was having trouble seeing out of it all of a sudden, that in and of itself would have my full attention. You know what I mean? I couldn't fight after that.
Yeah.
I know it was interesting to see multiple fighters come out and like say like that's pathetic. Like we all fought through our, eye poke injuries or whatever, but dang, I don't know,
Yeah, I don't know how, because that's the other thing is the pressure in the eye too. That's the one thing that they worry about whenever they had those kind of injuries. Pressure in the eye because they were afraid of losing the eye and the damage that's been to the retina. What would you think that UFC should go back to the new gloves that they were using to prevent eye pokes?
Do I think they should go back to them?
Yeah, because they were using those before UFC, before the John Jones, the Miocic. When John Jones came in there, he didn't like those gloves, so they changed it back to the old gloves for the obvious reason.
I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I've also heard the point that even with those gloves, it's not getting eye pokes is not just, something that happens. Because one thing that like, one fighter brought up is like, if getting poked in the eye was just something that happened in MMA, then all of us veterans would have been like, the most eye pokes. The guys who have had the most fights would have the most eye pokes.
Like Jim Miller?
But that's not at all the case. What's that?
Like Jim Miller?
Yeah.
He's been fighting for a while, too.
Yeah. And yeah, just like bringing up the fact that, it's, the way the fighter holds his hands, it kind of is up to the fighter to keep his hands right. So yeah, at a certain point, I don't know how much you're going to do to be able to actually fix the problem with better gloves. You know what I mean? I'm not sure.
Unless they do the Pride gloves. Remember the Pride gloves? The fingers were
Like
closed.
the padded on the front. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like closed fingers to prevent that. Also prevent the Chito Vera this weekend dislocated one of his fingers during the fight, and he popped it back in.
Yeah. It sucks though from the grappling standpoint because that's much harder. The more you limit your hand movement with the gloves, the less effective grappling will be.
Okay, use ninja gloves. Remember those ninja gloves? They just two fingers are together. So these two are together, these two are together.
Really?
You can still be able to hit hand separators to be able to get you grips for grappling. Your thumb may still be able to use it, and then your other four be together. And also less chances of breaking your fingers that way. But you still be able to get S grip, all that kind of stuff with the other one and prevent from your fingers bending back, breaking. Because I can remember somebody block a like right overhand, bam, break your finger.
Yeah.
That way. I tell you, there was a fighter that he lost his finger during the fight. He got in the part of his finger was still in his glove. They found later on taking his wraps off.
Yeah, I saw pictures of that. I think of that one. Oh my god, dude, that's crazy.
Got milk.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like putting that thing together? And what is the chance of that not breaking again?
Right? Yeah, I can't imagine it's good. Can't imagine it's ever worked very well after that.
Because remember John Jones, that happened to him against Charles Sonnen. He broke his toe.
With his toe, yeah.
Yeah, and ever since he had to tape his toes whenever he goes into fight. So his toes taped together.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Does he have to? Or is it just trauma?
No, I think because of turf toe. He has like a turf toe. That's what I broken. He just had to tape it because I don't know how good he heals back again.
Right.
This is like a messed up tendon. Of injuries. Mir's recovery from spinal surgery. For those of you who don't know, Frank Mir, two-time UFC champion. Back in February 25, he woke up and he was unable to feel his leg, and his life changed in that instant. He was rushed to the HCA Healthcare Mountain View Hospital in Vegas, where surgeons performed an emergency 9 hours prior to surgery to address a severe thoracic spinal cord compression. I mean, and then following the spinal fusion and thoracic spine laminectomy, that's what I don't know if I said that right, was a courageous journey of healing marked that determination and support. Frank worked tirelessly with Las Vegas hospitals inpatient rehab, and we learned basic movement like walking, sitting, and even getting in and out of a car. I mean, that guy, how many lives does he have? Because remember when he was a champion, he got in a motorcycle accident, he broke his femur.
Oh, really? No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's why he vacated the title because he wasn't able to defend it. That's why he got hooked on painkillers back then.
Right. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. That.
Coming of the injury.
Yep.
So may that happened having a thoracic spine compression, my spinal cord. I remember seeing him like videos of him trying to do abs or anything like that. And he used to like when he would engage his core, he just shaking, trying to recover.
Hmm.
Very like basic movement that he was struggling with. And then he not long after that he had a boxing fight. Remember? He had a boxing fight that he got knocked out.
Yeah.
Who like I don't know if he was taking a who would take a match after a injury like that?
Yeah.
It was in April. No, never mind. That's 2023. In May. That's not fun. So he had spinal surgery in February. He had a boxing match in May.
That can't be good, right?
No.
I mean,
How well are you training are you doing for boxing? And something that
right.
your neck gets jerked a lot for getting hit. And if you get knocked out, well, how you gonna land and you mess up your re-injure the injury site in which you just have surgery, 4 months ago?
I wonder. This is recent, right? You
Yeah,
said.
this year. Yeah. In February that he got the surgery. May he had the boxing match.
I wonder if he's afraid of getting hooked on the painkillers again. You know, maybe that's the distraction he feels like he needs.
He needs to distract on something else that's not as dangerous or like give injury again. I don't know,
Yeah.
racing cars or something like that. That doesn't involve the car and his body getting us
Yeah.
punished as much.
Yeah.
Unless he guy's taking other stuff that a lot of fighters on HGH or TRT that retire. Or how much can that really speed up your recovery for something like especially a spinal injury?
Hmm. Yeah.
Nerves ending once they die is really difficult for them to regrow or come back again.
Yeah. I really don't. Yeah. I don't know anything about how long spinal injuries take.
Yeah. It's some of them just especially it's a compression. Yeah, I mean, he was feeling his legs, and also if it's thoracic spine, I mean, he was up here was the injury, and he still wasn't able to feel his legs.
Yeah. Although maybe it being a compression is better because I imagine the compression is just like cutting flow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes,
maybe opening up that flow, maybe it does recover fast. As
yeah,
long as it was, for an extended period.
yeah. If it's like a fractured vertebrae,
Right.
that'd be different than being a compression of like a wore out disc that was causing the compression of
Yeah.
the injury. That'd be different. It's a fracture. Yeah, you had to yeah, what's the name? Eddie Braff. Going back to Eddie Braff, he had a titanium put on his vertebrae, his lumbar, because he's having issues back in the day. I think he was 19 or something like that. They had that because he was having issues. He did recovery, and he said he was feeling well, but now he's not able to go live. He's only drills. He doesn't
Mm.
go live anymore because of
Right.
the back injury that he had. I see his aluminum tinfoil hat in lumbar. He has a titanium spine. TSA is looking for him whenever he goes there. But that's impressive. Would you call that impressive or do you call that ignorant?
I mean,
Like to compete that fast?
from where I sit, it looks ignorant, but maybe, I don't know, maybe the doctors were like, you know what? It won't take that long to heal.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. I've almost never heard of a doctor saying something like that, but
No, they should
it's
more on the
possible.
cautious side.
Exactly. Yeah.
Some of the knee injury probably is 8 months, and that's a knee injury. Shoulder, same thing. But elbow is probably 6 months. But spinal, I don't know how long.
True as well, though, they had to do surgery, and surgery usually takes a lot out of you for a while.
Yeah, and that was a 9-hour surgery. My wife, she had elbow surgery, and hers was 6 hours or 4 hours.
How did joint surgeries normally take a long time?
Well, her was a broken humerus,
Okay.
and she broke the tip of her, I think, here.
Hmm.
So they had to 2 plates, 12 pins and screws in the arm.
Okay.
So and also, luckily, it is the elbow because it's just a flex extension kind of a joint. It's not like shoulder. You have all
The
the.
ball joint. Yeah.
It's different, just like the
Yeah.
hip. The hip is a more complicated surgery. That's when they do those. They just saw off the head of the femur and they stick.
Crazy. Isn't that?
Yeah. They just drive down the head of the head of the femur into like a new bone and joint
Yeah.
into the hip socket, and some that's man, I see why they wake up sore because all the movement and that they had to do for that joint to be able to put that in place.
Mm-hmm.
Seems some like I don't know what's the name, Hanson Silva. Whenever he broke his leg, they put a rod through his leg and put to put it together. And then whenever they take the hardware out, they had to use a kind of like a chisel and a hammer, and they had to hammer it out of place, ding, ding, to pull it out there.
Hmm.
The hardware there. Oh, how do you like as a freaking surgeon? How do you do that?
Right?
Because especially for 6 hours, how do you pull that? It feels like doing carpentry.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's using the same tools. That's also well, drilling stuff. It's rough stuff,
Mm,
but that's why they get paid the big bucks.
that is true.
Have you ever had to get any surgery for injury in jiu-jitsu?
No.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Yeah. For real. No, I haven't. Never surgery in general, really.
Once again,
Mm, that is, yeah. I do not like that idea. Somebody opening me up. Oof. No, that doesn't
no.
sit well.
And then what are the chances you get re-injured that place?
Yeah.
Because your range of
Yeah.
motion wouldn't be the same after recovering.
Right.
Like for my wife, I think her funny bone, her elbow nerve is still not the same since they did that surgery.
Really.
She still don't. It feels numb right here, like on the bar, because that's where the hardware sits.
Okay. Dang. So she throws an elbow. She's got
But yeah,
some metal in there to
but yeah, she'll fuck you up. She like razor
feel
blades.
bad for you.
Yeah, the razor blades elbow. Don't want to play basketball with her under the post like a what you call ball pin hammer. Fuck me up throwing elbows. But oh man, and also like those things are not cheap either.
No.
Surgery. My wife, hers was $100,000
Really?
per
Yeah.
elbow. So I can imagine how like other surgeries that other people have.
Right. 9 hours to the spine. I imagine there's several specialists involved in that.
Yeah, especially thoracic. A lot of main organs are in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Your lungs are in the area. Arm, a lot of main arteries in that area.
Yeah.
To worry about 'em. I had my ex father-in-law. He had a cervical surgery, and they had to go through here. Had to go
Really?
to the front to do maneuver around. And, oh man, I can't. I mean, your trach gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
I have to maneuver around there to do those kind of surgery. And then you see those.
Golly.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. He must have been sore for a while after that one.
Yeah, yeah. Those thoracic, not thoracic, but the cervical. Your carotids are right here.
Right. Yeah.
In the back, you have the medulla oblongata.
Yeah.
A lot of sensitive stuff. That's your like your main plug for your hardware, your whole body, your brain.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't want to do any damage there.
Yeah.
Paralyzing you. And even worse, you can get what meningitis. That's one of the main things you worry about.
Really?
Is infection into your spinal cord during surgery.
Okay.
You don't want that either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oof.
I imagine that would shut you down pretty quick.
Yeah, a lot of people that do get surgery, they end up having MRSA most of the time.
Yeah.
What's the name? Mark Coleman. That happened to him when he has hip surgery.
Yeah.
He had MRSA.
Yeah. I think I remember that.
And hip is a difficult surgery because it's weight bearing, whether you're
Right.
standing, sitting, or laying down. So it's hard to keep the pressure off the hip.
Yeah.
Like,
And
really important.
really, how do you move anything without moving your hip? You don't.
Sitting up,
So.
you have to use your hip hinge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That'd be horrible.
Yeah. Well, luckily, medical advances have been better. So you'll be able to like actually walk faster than you were before. So especially a joint, you want to like move it so it won't stiffen up. And then having this surgery, you know when you need to lock up in
Yeah.
place.
It is pretty cool what they're able to do now without like cutting you open, and they just like little tiny holes, and they go in with cameras and robots.
Yeah, microscopic
Yeah,
injury.
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Um, and a
Yes.
great idea. So much less to recover from.
You have to take consideration the recovery you have to do for the injury itself, plus the surgery, and then plus whatever they move around whenever they did the surgery.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's kind of like whenever you're trying to fix your car, and you move all the battery cables. So okay, the transmission is good, but the battery, you don't get no power.
Yeah.
You fucked up the battery cables.
Yeah.
You have to fix the battery cables now. It kind of the same thing with your body, especially if ligaments are involved.
Yeah.
Get a full blood flow to them after surgery. And then after that, getting full range of motion without exerting a re-injury of the injury of the
Mm-hmm.
joint.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what happened to Ryan Hall or Dominic Cruz. Remember, he took I think like 2 years, almost 3 years for him to come back and fight again,
Yep. Yeah.
having knee surgery. He keep getting re-injured. But what do you think about his perseverance as far as Frank Mir fighting through all those injuries they had before? Broken femur.
And it's pretty crazy. He's got a lot of fight in him. Really, it's hard to imagine, you know. But I guess it's kind of what he found as like the good route for him to take. You know, otherwise he fell into some not so good stuff.
Yeah.
If you see that as like the light at the end of the tunnel is fighting um as a means to escape, yeah, I mean, without a doubt, that's the right choice to make. It's I'm sure it's difficult,
Yeah.
but if it's that or, have a horrible life, yeah.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
helped him focus on something else other than just the recovery of the injury.
yeah, exactly.
Going back to painkillers, being hooked on other stuff,
Hmm.
and being you feel maybe lethargic or being lazy, the recovery part. But that's the thing about freaking injuries and recovery. It feels like you're being lazy, but doing little stuff for recovery is going metaphorically going a step the right way. But it feels like you're not pushing yourself as much as you want to. But that's what you can do so far. And that's what life is. You cannot be overexerting yourself every day. Like every practice is not going to be 100%. It's going to be you win every round. It's like sometimes just one little thing is going to be, this is what you use. That's what you got better at today. One position that you struggled before. You don't compete at worlds every day. That's the thing.
Right.
You don't wake up a world champion. You don't like brush your teeth world champion.
Right.
It's like little things at the time you make to get you there. And if you get 1% better every day of the year, that's 365 times better than you did at the beginning of the year. So just making small adjustment, even if you don't feel bump, don't take that excuse not to do push yourself either.
Right. That's definitely the hard part. That's kind of the thing too, is it's kind of like having for him like a UFC match, but like having a competition or something that you have coming up gives you a reason to do the little things. You know, I've definitely noticed for me, like if I have something I know is coming up, like a competition, it's a lot easier to hold back on the sugar, deny the sweet tooth. Because you have a reason to do it. And it seems like that's kind of what happened to him is, he suddenly had a reason to deny taking the drugs and, the stuff that he was hooked on.
Yeah. Or maybe he already had the match, already signed for it. He already signed for it, and then this injury happened.
Well, that's true as well. Yeah.
During the training camp, he saw that he had that injury. And he had to take it at what it is.
Yep.
To be able to show up regardless of the injury that he had. But that is impressive. That's something like, as far as like a spinal injury. Because he took a knock on that match and he fell. But it is impressive. What do you think about John Jones being the troll that he is? In trolling Aspinall with the duck with the eye patch after that match.
Of course he does that. Yeah, I mean, what I picture out of John Jones at this point, I mean, he talks a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I do feel like this did somewhat discredit Aspinall a lot. I feel like he lost a lot of respect in a lot of people's eyes. And not even just because, yeah, pun intended. Not even because of the, like, quitting because of the eye poke, but Like he wasn't dominating Ciryl before that,
Mhm.
whereas John Jones did. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of things that left in question. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. It seems to me like John Jones has a better chance of coming back now, just because the division's kind of it's not, nobody owns it right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
It's free for all right now. And John Jones known for one thing that he's known for is eye pokes. Most of his opponent. He noticed that he does a lot of eye pokes on his opponent when he goes again, he, like accidentally because he reaches a lot. He
yeah.
reaches the last, so he sometimes he pokes some of his opponents whenever he goes again.
After this, Aspinall might not even want to fight him anymore.
He got a finishing move. Get on here. It's fatality.
Captain Insano.
You get those big peepers taken
There's
out.
no mercy.
Fuck him up. Do you think this like his confidence as a allegedly GOAT crosses into his cockiness from John Jones?
No doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 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 I mean, rightly so to a certain point. I mean, really, you can't deny how skilled he was and is, but yeah, I just wish you'd actually fight, you know?
Yeah.
That's the, yeah.
Do you think that this? No, go ahead.
Well, I mean, to me, that's the frustrating part is that he just wouldn't fight. Like, his skill is undeniable. Like, he may well be the GOAT, but if you're not going to fight, just get out. Like, stop holding things up. And that just happened for so long. It's just kind of fed up with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You think like his man games, like his confidence, that's a way for him to stay active in the combat sports since he's not competing. Run his mouth, running, being a keyboard warrior rather than a physical warrior. That's a way for him to stay relevant at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. People can't forget him that way.
Yeah. Yeah, so he didn't have anything on Thomas Pinal before for him to attack, but now he has this as a
Right.
fuel.
Yeah. Yeah. Give him some good ammo for sure.
Yeah. Especially somebody that likes to troll like that.
Yeah.
And he usually finds a way for him to hold of it against you to a certain extent. Just like he did with Miyoshi. He's like talking about me, you gonna kick my ass, I'm you bitch and stuff like that. Remember, he was like, you don't say that, like he found a way for Miyoshi, like that Miyoshi was talking bad about him. And he's like, dude, like calm down, like yeah, say anything like being disrespectful. Because Miyoshi's not somebody disrespectful like that. But John Jones, his mind games, he gets in his own head that he's like egomaniac, that he turns a feud, like take it to the next level. But now he has some sort of a fuel to talk trash to Aspinall after this match, especially again Cyril Gane, somebody the John Jones beat decisively. That I was able to do that coming off a retirement. He was off for 2-3 years while Gane was running the division, came back and decisively beat Cyril Gane for the title.
So it was under 30 seconds, was it? Wasn't it like crazy fast?
I can't remember. I know it was in the first round, but I don't know how long that match was. But
I thought
he
that
was
was the
still
one
back.
he came out like immediately hit him and like did a guillotine against the cage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was 2 minutes 4 seconds in that round one.
Wow, okay, that's quite a bit longer than I was thinking then. But still, yeah, still
Because
short.
remember, he liked to circle. He had to circle, trying to close him into that back to the cage, really get him down and yeah, submit him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he has that against now Aspinall as far as like talking trash to him. If they ever do go against each other, because I don't know, he tried to beat him mentally before they get to the octagon, especially. But I don't know how many matches Tom Aspinall has because his father, I think he said, talked about there's more money in boxing, and they're not willing to sign a new contract with the UFC. So I don't know how many matches Tom Aspinall has. Really?
Yeah.
That's wild. Especially as champion. Then they want to lock him in. But I don't know what this will do his stock value or like his market value.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if they'll want to lock him in at this point.
Mm-hmm. What some another organization be able to pay for him. Who can he fight? I mean, Tyson Fury retired. As far as heavyweights, Deontay Wilder's still there. Anthony Joshua's still there. I think you should just beat the brakes out of Ngannou, knock him out. I must not be able to go against him as far as into the boxing venue. That's a question for
I
what he.
mean, didn't Dana say something about a rematch between Aspinall and Ciryl is very interesting? Because he thought Aspinall quit.
That
Or at
makes
least that's what he said directly afterwards.
I haven't seen it, but that makes sense because the other matches that have been like that, they have rematches. Eddie Alvarez versus Dusty Poirier. It's a match like that. They did um rematch. Ankalaev versus I think it's Johnny Walker. They did a rematch because he was no contest as well, and there's no problem that doing a rematch, especially for a title. The only thing I don't like about that, he holds the division.
True. Yeah, that is true.
For this decision, that means a division that's no decisive. And then you have another match that was two contenders were fighting earlier in the card this weekend. That was a boring fight. Almeida versus what's the name of the Russian?
Almeida versus
Volkov. Alexander Volkov. Just against each other. It was a lay and pray. Almeida was just lay and pray, but Volkov was able to edge a win against him. I mean, he came back the other way around because remember, they thought that Volkov beat Sirogan in the match before this one. In this one, it was the other way around. It's close match and he swing towards Volkov. But it's still not a decisive number one contender in that same division.
Yeah, it's not. And that's the thing. That's kind of why I think John Jones has more of a chance getting in now because there's nobody really exciting.
Yet Captain Sevaho is coming in.
Yeah.
John Jones is trying to save, especially a car. I mean, Dana was still sitting on that idea. He doesn't agree, John Jones, for having him in the White House car because somebody is not reliable. So many cars they have to be canceled. The Henderson fight versus John Jones was canceled. What's his name? Alexander Gustafsson. The second time they fought each other, they had to move the fight from Vegas to LA because of picograms that John Jones had. Second fight versus DC UFC 200, that was a big card, was canceled but no, was canceled, but he almost lost the card. That one, that's supposed to be the main event, but they moved it to DC versus Anderson Silva. That's supposed to be the big card, the big fight of the night because of John Jones failed drug test. I mean, those are three times that he let down the promoter. And now this one in a lifetime card, I don't know if he's willing to bet the house, no pun intended. John Jones for main event for a division that is not so active right now. That means that this division will sort itself out eventually.
For sure. Yeah. It can be a very exciting division.
I mean, this is the baddest man in the world title for a reason.
You're right.
Heavyweights.
Right.
And they will sort itself out eventually. It's just going to take time. It doesn't take John Jones coming back for retirement to the White House to like a Rocky event or like a Apollo Creed situation, trying to win the division for it. But it will sort itself out eventually. And also, it's a kind of like a great going into holding the division for so long that when he leaves the division, sometimes they race to the top because of, for example, the GSP. Whenever he was a champion welterweight, when he left, you have Robbie Lawler, Johnny Hendricks, you have Kamaru Usman, Tyron Woodley that were in there. They were holding them, but then the division hasn't been the same after that. Those guys that came after GSP, they raced to the top. Boom. Same thing happened right now with the heavyweight division. John Jones left, and they're trying to find who's going to be the next superstar. But also, the thing about the heavyweight title, for the longest time, the record was 3 defense. They have been like more than that. This division is known for having a superstar that's been holding the weight class with title for that long. Not even Randy Couture was able to do it.
Crazy.
There's not something out of the ordinary for this division to be like that. Kind of like out of not having a superstar. Because back in the day, they used to have Team Sylvia, they had Alexander Arlovsky, Then you have Team Sylvia won it again. The Randy Couture took it for him. Then the Randy Couture left to do Scorpion King. Then you have Brock Lesnar becoming the champion. Unify Couture versus Brock Lesnar. Then Brock Lesnar had some injury, diverticulitis or something like that, or some sort of injury, and then the Frank Mir became the interim title holder and trying to unify against Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar won again. Brock Lesnar beat Shane Carwin. Then Cain Velasquez had it. Cain Velasquez has some injuries. He got knocked out by Junior Dos Santos. Then he came back, beat the shit out of Junior Dos Santos back to back, closer to Verdum. Verdum lost to Stipe Miocic. I think that he's the one that has that title for the longest, beating other guys, overing other guys. He beat Ngannou in there as well along the way. But then he has been up and down the division. So it's not a division that had like somebody hold the title for that long. But having lack of contenders that being decisively winning, that's a down difference because it's a division of finishers.
Everybody's got the power to finish.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a freaking what you call a riot of division.
Yeah.
But that division need John Jones to be like a good division for it to like be a puller for pay-per-view for a big card. I don't know.
I mean, I can't imagine it'll be long before somebody really steps up and comes in. It doesn't seem to take too long most of the time.
Yeah, it might be Walker, the guy that remember that he's heel hooking people, maybe the next guy.
Right? Yeah.
Just heel hooking everybody.
That'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Not what you expect for a heavyweight division champ.
No. He's gonna be the bottom feeder. That's gonna be his nickname.
Defeater.
Defeated everybody, literally. Nobody got beat after that. Not from the bottom. Now we here.
Still the bottom.
Yeah. Who say guard pullers don't win? In the switching sports, this weekend there was RAF, a Real American Freestyle for wrestling, and they have a couple matches there. That they have Cal Dake, he won this weekend. Kid Dynamite, among others. Our girl Helen Morales, she competed this weekend. She won as well. Her match. I mean, that's pretty impressive for her to be that good. I mean, she over the last year or so, she medal bronze in the Olympics. She won, I think it's blue belt in IBJJF. She competed she made the world team again. She competed in Worlds, won gold, and now she competed in this organization for RAF, for Real American Freestyle, and she won the title there as well. That's pretty active.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't say. That is crazy. Just racking up the titles right there.
Yeah. For somebody, I think she's been she won the gold in Rio in 2014. She's 34 years old, so she's not that young as far as an athlete for a young sport. Usually young people that are more dominant. Oh, it's pretty good that she's in that active. She said she hasn't been competing. She hasn't been training in jiu-jitsu as much recently because obviously she's competing more in wrestling. Man, she's pretty good. I remember PD3, Padani the third. He's a wrestler that he won IBJJF blue belt. He got kicked out. Remember? He said back in the day when he was in high school, he used to train with Helen, and she used to beat the shit out of him. He used to hate it. And then he said he was glad that she became the star that she is, so he can balance himself.
Good. Yeah, at least
I'm glad that she's a world champion. I can say I got my ass beat by somebody that's actually good.
Yeah, that's funny.
He used to get embarrassed because his dad used to drive him over there. He used to hate going against her. But he was competing this weekend as well. He went against he was a gold medalist in the London Olympics. I can't remember his name right now. Jake Varner. He is assistant coach for Penn State as well. But he went against PD3. Jake Varner, of course, won. He was able to have a better cardio. Kara Soroshi, the only one in ever we 5-time national champion, competed this weekend against Jackson. He lost against him in Jackson has been pretty good as far as like getting better. I think he trains out of Princeton, Olympic Training Center. He's been getting better, but it's impressive going against Karstoroshi. Well, Karstoroshi is not known for being somebody's, I guess, if you like mostly defensive wrestler, he's always good in position. Saying when he gives you bad position, that's what he attacks. But he usually uses your attacks in defense to be able to score. But pretty impressive that Nate Jackson was able to beat him this past weekend. And the next one, they're talking about they're going to have two MMA fighters, Michael Chandler versus Chad Mendes, two MMA veterans going back to their wrestling roots. What do you think about how freestyle wrestling shapes a toughness and humility in as far as the competition?
How it shapes toughness and humility?
Yeah, that grind, training to be able like to it's like kind of like building blocks for life and also for MMA as well, because you have to be humble at all times in that toughness of a sport that's not have that much notoriety.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's pretty undeniable. I wonder if part of the reason, well, obviously, I mean, yeah, toughness, yeah, you have to work crazy hard to be able to get to that top level. But I feel like the humility there that you're talking about probably comes a lot from realizing how much work that you have to do to get to that level. It's not like you just walked in there and did it. So I feel like that's kind of helps with that.
Yeah, also it helps the humility of them being two MMA legends, veterans, and going back to competing back into the sport that they started with too. It takes a sort of humility than to going back, like sometimes doing the things to build just to keep him grounded as a sport. Who do you think has the edge on those two?
I'll be honest, I couldn't tell you. I really don't know. What do you think?
I'm not sure how much Shawn Mendes has been training. I see he had posted a lot of El Conti and stuff like that, videos, a lot of boxing. His nickname was he had heavy hands as far as boxing, but I can't even remember if he did some bare knuckle at one point. But as far as grappling, he was pretty good back in the day. Cal Poly, that's what he wrestled for in college. It's All American. But I'm not sure how much he's training now. Chandler, he used to grapple and wrestle with Kamaru Usman when he was Henry Hoof gym. Usman, I don't think he's training there anymore. But when they used to wrestle each other, it was a pretty exciting back and forth as far as the wrestling. Considering Kamaru Usman was somebody that was at one point considered making the world team for the US or the Olympic team for the London Olympics. That's a high level wrestling. So at this point of their life, Chandler seems to be more active. He has more like as far as competition that are closer to grappling. Now when he faced Oliveira recently, but I will say Chandler will have the edge on this one. Darren and Mendes. And Mendes has some I think psoriasis that he posted before. For some skin condition before. I haven't seen anything posts recently as far as how was he training for. But that really says something about those two, about staying true to foundation, especially two MMA veterans going back to an event that's not I mean, this is the third event for real American freestyle. First one is in August. Second one was this month. And next one I think it's gonna be in November. That says something about them.
For sure. Yeah, no doubt there. It would be, yeah, it would be really interesting to see that.
Yeah. Brings some notoriety to the sport.
Right.
It is nice to bring some exposure as well to the event itself. But it's nice of the part to bring some notoriety, especially to all Americans back in the day. I think Chandler wrestled for Missouri. Ben Askren. Ben Askren School. Tara Willie wrestled there too. Missouri. The Tigers. Boom. Yeah. That is nice to see both of them giving back. Do you see now I remember Usman. Do you see that asking about him facing Bilal Muhammad because Bilal Muhammad is right above him? They're asking if he's willing to fight Bilal Muhammad. He said he won't fight him. I mean, he's right in front of him, but he said that Bilal Muhammad have more to win fighting him that he has fighting him. So he doesn't have no interest of fighting him. He'd rather go through somebody else to get to get to the title contention.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. For sure. For Bilal.
Yeah. Yeah, also somebody that's known, well known. It is no, he's known, but not well known. Wants more to win out of that. But I don't know who he will against. I was gonna say Leon Edwards, but they already had 3 matches, and Leon Edwards won 2 of them, and the last one was pretty decisive.
It'd be a tough one. That
Yeah,
would be a tough way.
yeah. Unless he goes against Sean Brady. Sean Brady's a grappler too.
Well, that might be more interesting.
Yeah, see how they will go against each other. That'd be interesting. But I don't know if because would you consider that loss against Hamza Chimaev a loss that will affect his title contention because he went against Hamza Chimaev at 185?
I think it would be too much.
Mm-hmm.
It might. I mean, probably a little bit, but yeah, probably not.
Yeah, we ever consider that kind of like 2 different brackets? If you want to sign up for the absolute and you sign up for your own division, does it really affect your own division? Different
Yeah,
bracket?
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think anybody really blames somebody for getting beat by somebody like a very skilled person in a higher weight class. I mean, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, sure.
That's what's supposed to happen.
Exactly.
But he didn't get finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I have for today. Do you have anything else?
Nope, that's good.
You want to close us out?
Sure. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed our recap of UFC 321. Give us a listen on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and iTunes. Follow us on Instagram. Give us a like. Let us know what you want to hear. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. Hope to hear from you guys. Thank you.